So just this last weekend, we had NFL Super Wildcard Sunday, the first wildcard weekend, the first wildcard weekend ever in which we had a total of 6 games. So we're going to break down a quick recap of each 6 games, starting with Triple C and the Bills versus Colts.
What a phenomenal game.
It
It was absolutely one of the best games of the weekend. And any team could have won. I thought the Bills were going to win a lot easier than what they did, but the Colts were well in that game and they could have easily won. The first half, the game was very close. They ran the ball very well against the Bills, the Colts did. They limited Josh Allen's time of possession, which was crucial. That was one of Frank Reich's, keys to victory. And they used a multitude of running attacks against the Colts defense. Against the Bills defense, and controlled the clock. And the Bills just kept on getting horrible field position in the first half. The second half, besides Josh Allen almost losing it when he fumbled the ball the one play, he absolutely took over. He took over the game, not just passing, but with his legs. There was a couple plays where we really needed a big play, and Josh Allen took over running the ball. And just overall, the Bills did look like the better team to me. I'm not just saying that because I went to Niagara University and I'm a closet Bills fan. But the Bills did look like the better team, but the Colts played absolutely phenomenal, and it could have been anybody's game. I'm very nervous about this coming week, but it was a great game by the Bills.
It's definitely a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely.
I thought the Bills were going to run all over them, but I'll tell you what, Indy.
So
Philip Rivers going to go down without a fight. I'll tell you that.
And one of the things that was crucial for the game was T.Y. Hilton, right? Who was on him? Tre'Davious White.
Yeah.
The whole game he was on him.
Indeed. Great game though.
I kind of knew Philip Rivers wasn't just going to give up like that. I know he wasn't going to allow it to be a blowout. I know he was going to fight to the end. I was expecting a little bit more from that defense. Granted, the Bills was what? I think they were number 2. They were ranked number 2 for scoring this year, I think. But I was looking for the Colts defense to put a little more pressure on the entire offense for the Bills. But it was a good game, though. It was a good game.
And like I said, the game plan for the Colts, I was nervous in the first half. It worked. Josh Allen had no time of possession. But the second half, they really broke it open, other than that one play by Josh.
What the Colts did really well, the running back. Just got to throw that out there.
Phenomenal.
That rookie running back.
Jonathan
Taylor.
That kid, he made a name for himself.
He did.
Yeah, he made a name for himself.
I would love to see the stat. I know we could pull up here real quick, but his yards after first first contact, my God.
That kid was running
He
really
can
hard.
Yeah.
Moving forward, the game following that on Saturday, we had the Los Angeles Rams topping the Seahawks 30-20, in which they relied on their defense and the legs of Cam Akers running for over 130 yards. What do you guys feel about that performance? I know everyone said let Russ cook, and I'm pretty sure everyone with the exception of Brown predicted a Seahawks victory.
Bro,
here.
I'll be the first one, and I even put it on our Facebook page. I'll be the first one to admit I did not think that the Rams defense. I knew they were good. I know they're number 1 in the NFL, but they made Russell Wilson look like a damn middle schooler out there. I've never seen Russ that flustered and just not know what to do with the ball. He's back there just patting it, trying to get it out. He can't get it out. Ramsey shut down DK, except for that one touchdown that he scored. I got it, but Lockett was shut down. Aaron Donald, but my God.
The play that I couldn't believe was, and I forget the cornerback's name, but they saw DK upset on the sideline that he wasn't getting the ball, and then they come out on the field and they were going to throw that quick screen to him, and that guy read it like a freaking book.
And that was actually the first interception off of a screenplay all season.
Yeah.
I remember
That was the turning point of the game, though.
It was a turning point.
It was a turning point of the
Absolutely
game.
was.
Once they got that.
But I'll tell you another thing, too. That Aaron Donald, he does not take a play off. He does not take a play. He goes hard every single play.
Best defensive player in the league for
he's
a
a
reason.
beast.
I mean, he does
Dude is
not
a
take a
beast.
play off.
The only question is whether or not he's healthy for this week.
And Jalen Ramsey, Devontae Adams is going to have a hard time this coming.
We talked about
I don't think he's that good. But it's easy. It's easy to be a good defensive player like that, DB, when your front seven is fucking that good. It's really easy.
We'll find out when he lines up against Devontae Adams because Jalen Ramsey, man, he looks good.
It's true.
So following that upset, and I think we can all agree that was an upset.
I
mean,
agree.
like I said,
Yeah.
4 or 5 of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I mean, they were talking
Okay.
Russell Wilson an MVP candidate in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, he was putting those numbers up.
He
though.
was.
Let Russ cook.
But they had the Seahawks. I mean, it was an upset.
So Russ can cook in off season though. So
Yeah, you can.
Brown, following that upset, Saturday night football, we had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Washington football team. What do you think? What happened?
Yeah, so let's start this off with saying that I believe there were a couple of you on this table that actually picked the football team to upset the Buccaneers.
I mean, at that time, Alex
That-
Smith has not
that-
been
that
ruled
Can
out.
you name them?
That was not.
I just raised my hand.
Everybody
Hey,
except for me and C-Dub were the
stepping
ones
up.
who took.
Hey, for those not watching on YouTube, that was Daddy and old Sweet Rob over here.
I mean, we posted it, and we made the prediction. Also, Alex Smith was not ruled out, and I'm pretty sure everyone said it was going to be a blowout.
So coming back to that, one, how dare you bet on Tom Brady? Two, Tom Brady. I think this was a tale of basically experience, which a lot of these games, except for the last one that we'll talk about, the quarterback with the experience has the upper hand. So Brady, 22 of 40, 381 with 2 touchdowns. I said he was going to have 2 touchdowns. He did it. I must be a psychic. Fournette,
You want to put a touchdown on that? C-Dub?
I said he was going to have 4.
Fournette, 19 carries, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Evans, 6 receptions, 119 yards. The real surprise, I think, to everybody was Taylor Heineke. I don't even know the guy. I don't know
Heineken, or
Yeah,
whatever
Heineken.
his name is.
Never heard
That
of him.
dude.
26 of 44, 306 yards, a touchdown, and interception, man.
And
What he
Russ-
really did is he changed the game with his legs. He had 6 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown in that last one where he dove into the end zone. Actually got it
Yes.
even closer.
Yes.
That kid.
But like I said, postseason, Brady's 42nd start, and that was Heineke's first. I think experience plays into it.
100%.
Yeah, and also that rushing touchdown at that point, I was like, oh, we have a game. Because
Yeah.
once Alex Smith was ruled out, I'm like, fuck, I'm wrong.
Well, I think the
And-
Washington
and
football
it
team
was
was
a game.
hurt when Antonio Gibson went out in the first quarter. Because Antonio Gibson is a monster in the backfield receiving the ball. So that changed the game completely. But for Heineke to still be
I thought
able
he
to do
came
that,
back.
he got hurt and went out in the first quarter, which, I mean, to me, I think everybody debates on momentum. But
Yeah.
not having that on the field for you is kind of...
The thing that really shocked me was how well the Bucs offensive line held up against Washington front four.
And Chase Young, real quick, Chase
Man.
Young, how dare you call out Tom Brady? You had one quick QB pressure on.
He was getting manhandled.
Well, he got Brady's jersey, though. He heard what they said after the game.
He said you're the real goat, and he
Said
wasn't
you're the
lying.
goat.
Tom Brady is the goat.
Hey, I'll tell you why, though. The one thing when I was watching the game, why it wasn't a bigger blowout for the Bucs was, did you see how many balls Chris Godwin dropped?
Yeah,
He dropped a lot. I think it was like 3 or 4 in a row he dropped.
and it seems
they,
like,
and they were going to be big plays if he actually caught.
but it seems like AB and Brady are catching on because that's 4 consecutive games with a touchdown catch for
We'll
AB.
find out this
Hey.
weekend when Lattimore.
Hey, at the beginning of that game, I thought it was going to be a long day for Washington with Tom Brady dropping them dimes like he was. But, yeah, it was closer than I thought, man.
Hey, participation trophy to the Washington football team. Moving
Should have been the
forward,
Giants. Thanks, fucking Eagles.
moving forward. First game of Sunday, we had the Baltimore Ravens play the Tennessee Titans. Bulldog B, what happened?
Yo, it started out looking like another nightmare for the Baltimore
Didn't
Ravens.
you and I call that?
We did.
Oh,
we
I-
did call the Ravens.
We did call that?
It started out looking like another nightmare. You know, after going up 10-0, after a TD and a field goal that was set up by Malcolm Butler, INT. But then Baltimore's defense said, not today. Dude, they kept the Titans' offense total, the whole offense, not just Derrick Henry, but the whole offense to -7 yards in the second quarter. -7 yards. All right? They kept Derrick Henry total just out of the game. Like, he He had 18 carries for 40 yards.
40 yards?
40 yards.
How many did Schofield
It's
say
huge.
he was going to have?
Anyway,
I'll be the first to say I was
you guys
wrong.
can talk about that shit later. Anyway,
I'll be the
but
first
bottom
to say I
line
wrong.
was that paved the way for Lamar Jackson to regain his composure, do his thing. He brought him back. He had a quick field goal by Tucker, made it 10-3, and then like my boy on True Patrol Sports, shout out to Hollow Point. He found that 6th and 7th gear when he took off for that touchdown, and nobody could catch it. That was crazy. That 48-yard run, that was nuts, man. Defense, the Baltimore Ravens defense legitimately won this game for them.
It's legit.
They won this game for them. Baltimore and Tennessee both came into the game as the top 2 rushing offenses in the NFL. Baltimore won that battle 236 to 51. 51 total rushing yards for the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry, 40 yards. Derrick Henry, 40 yards.
All right, we get it. Derrick Henry, 40 yards. We heard you the first 4 times.
40 yards.
Moving forward, the Saints versus the Chicago Bears.
Woo!
Which, in my personal opinion, was brought to life through Nickelodeon. I thought it was dope. Big Daddy, talking about your Saints.
Nickelodeon, shout out. Who That Nation, where we at? Oh, man. I was very nervous about this game. Averaging 31 points for the last 5 games, the Bears were. I thought it was going to be a much closer game. Drew Brees stepped up big time. Alvin Kamara, I like the fact that they allowed him to touch the ball almost 25 times. Just rushing, not combined with coming out of the backfield getting screens. I really appreciate that. I love the fact that they utilized somebody else in the receiving corps other than Michael Thomas just because he came back. Dante Harris out of nowhere. Assumption University, stand up. Best kickoff punt returner in the league, Dante. But to that defense,
I was going to say, where's the defense? Like,
you gotta let me get there.
Oh, my God.
You gotta let me get that.
The defense is the reason.
Man, to that defense, Cam Jordan, DeMario Davis, come on, Anzalone, the Jack Rabbit,
Malcolm Jenkins,
Malcolm Jenkins, stand up,
Lattimore.
Hey, let's do it, boys. I ain't gonna speak too much.
Sheldon Rankins, excuse me.
I ain't gonna speak on it too much. Who That Nation? That defense stood up for us. We ain't never had a defense like this in a long, long time.
The highlight of this entire game, I'm sorry, was when Wims dropped that ball.
I know.
Through his arm.
I know it.
Like, my boy posted, he said, man, he just whiffed. He posted on Facebook. I was like, bro, you pay me the league minimum and I'll do that all day long.
Yeah.
Like, I can do that. No problem.
No, the Saints defense, though, unbelievable performance. It's going to be interesting next week.
The defense was on point because that first half, our offense could not.
No.
We moved the ball down the field. We could not get it in the red zone. We just could not get it in the end zone.
Well, and I'm sure you're going to have more to say later. With that being said, we come to the final game of the wild card weekend. I could say, to me, was the biggest surprise. I FaceTimed you several times during the game. I honestly turned it off at halftime to go to sleep, and I woke up. It was a little closer than I thought. But Brown, here's your moment. Talk about it, baby.
I'll tell you what, I'm surprised the city of Cleveland is not burned to the ground right now. 18 years since we made the playoffs. Haven't won a playoff game since 1994.
How old were you?
Like 2 months old. My entire life, I have not seen a playoff win.
Young Bucs.
When I tell you that was the happiest moment I've had so far in my life, I can't. And to be against the Pittsburgh Steelers makes it so much sweeter. What I don't understand is how people can still hate on the Cleveland Browns. Now, I'm looking at one person at this table because one person has been a hater of Baker Mayfield.
I fucking give him the credit. I go back and look at the chat. The guy, man, he had the swag on him, man. Did I not say that? Did I not come into your office and say that?
You said
like the guy had a swag to him.
Can't read a defense. Preseason or postseason debut.
Come on,
3 touchdowns, 236 yards.
Come on, man.
This man, I'm
it
telling you.
didn't help that Ben Roethlisberger had 5 fucking interceptions.
I said no.
Like,
that was because of Cleveland's defense.
That was Cleveland's defense.
All right.
You can't just. I mean, I'll give him the one snap over the head. I don't know how you do that. Apparently,
Plus the one that he
apparently resting your
overthrew.
starters wasn't too smart. I'll say this: Corvette. Juju hopped on that jet and flew back to Pittsburgh. I'll tell you that. You run your mouth. We made you pay for it.
Dude,
And
don't
it
come at me.
There
I'm a
was
fucking
nothing
Saints fan.
sweeter.
I'm not a Steelers
Nothing.
fan.
He's just talking to the
sweeter.
people.
I'm talking to the people.
But you're looking at me.
Hey, the only
Because
reason
you're the only one who's hated on it.
Bro, the only reason the Browns won that game is because they got 58 LSU alumni on that team, like Danny keeps talking about.
There it is.
They got
Motherfucking 53
they
man
got
roster,
the
20.
whole roster, plus their practice squad, their coaches, their cheerleaders, all went to LSU.
So
What's the real number?
Five.
Six.
Five.
Six.
five of them.
I don't know. It goes
So-
up every week.
So Big Ben, 4 interceptions. Pouncey snapped the ball over his head. So we had 5 turnovers on defense.
Yeah, you got to clean that up.
Baker, 3 touchdowns that game. Kareem Hunt, I'll tell you what, he may be my favorite player on the Cleveland Browns. He runs probably the hardest I've ever seen somebody run. You guys saw his 28-yard run where he ran over the DB.
Are you
He's
fucking
from
serious?
Cleveland, went to Toledo.
Let him have his
Now
moment.
he's in the
Let him have his
playoffs with the
moment.
Browns. The Browns won a
Let him have
playoff
his
game. On to Kansas City. You guys stay tuned to see what I pick. But the Cleveland Browns are here. Anybody that doubted us, we're here. We're a top 4 team in the AFC. So anybody who doubted the Browns, you're eating your words now.
So
Nah, let him have his moment. Talk
So
you said
you're
Hunt is better than fucking Chubbs?
all right.
I said he's probably the hardest runner in the NFL.
So with that being said, Corvette.
Corvette.
Hopping
Kareem Hunt.
that jet, Juju.
Hey,
Hopping
goodbye.
that jet.
Claypool. Watch him
Goodbye,
out.
goodbye, Steelers. Goodbye.
G6. G5.
With that being said, we will have more time to talk about the.
I will be
Cleveland
doing
Browns.
my own episode on the Browns.
Okay.
Go Browns. Baker Mayfield. Lead it up.
With that being said, we have more time to talk about the upcoming round in the NFL playoffs, divisional weekend, and it's very exciting because of the 4 games, 3 of the amateur hour sports crew, with the exception of the Eagles.
That's not us.
That's not us.
Yeah.
Their
Those
teams
are-
are in the playoffs. They're pretty pumped, and we're pumped to talk about what's upcoming.
Well, I'm not pumped to talk about it, but
Okay.
Corvette.
Corvette.
Coming right back at you.
Coming back at you.